Miss Baptist from the Frat House. I am here with the Week 2 update for One Book July 2014. How is it treating you guys? Are you struggling? Are you enjoying it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Have you pretty much always been a one book person, so it's not bothering you too badly? I've seen all of those things online, at Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. And one thing I wanted to make sure you guys knew, a couple people were like, I failed. There's no failing. There's really not. It's supposed to be fun. It's something that's supposed to maybe kick some different gears in your brain into motion. That's definitely what it's done for me. So if you have a work planner and you were trying to give that up and cram work and personal and everything into one book, don't give up that work planner. A spiritual journal, anything that you do that is your routine or something that you previously had committed to do, like a traveling art journal. Don't skip those things because of this by any stretch. It's just kind of interesting for us to try ourselves every once in a while, challenge ourselves to try something different. And that's, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that sometimes mentally cleaning house is a very, very good thing. Excuse me, my allergies are raging. So, let me think. This week, I'll flip the camera around and show you, but this week hasn't been too bad. I'm going to do it again, you guys. I'm holding the camera with both hands. I'm trying not to make you seasick. Several of the kids are gone this week until this weekend, so I really have not had a whole lot of working around their schedules and driving them places. Starting the next 3 weeks, the chaos is coming. So we are really going to put the frat house in one book to the test. We've got 3 of the kids starting driving lessons. 2 of the kids are going out of town with some of my family to a cabin for a long weekend. A couple of the kids are in and out of town over the next 3 weeks. And then before we know it, One Book July will be over. It'll be August, and all of the school planning is already starting. So I did allocate some space in one of the notebooks for some future projects, for prepping for school, packing lists for the boys. I added a bunch of information, and yet I took out a notebook. I know, right? You figure One Book July, knowing me and seeing my planner, you know I'd be cramming as many notebooks as I can in there, right? That small, lightweight, regular size insert, it's the 013, I cut that down, remember? I haven't been using it at all. I haven't touched it. So I took that out. I took it out. I like the way the notebook feels in my hand with it out better than with it in. And that's a biggie for me. If I don't like the way a notebook feels in my hand, probably not going to want to use it. So it was fine the way it was, but it feels better without that in there. And why carry it? I'm not using it. So I will show you, this week is full of a lot of notes, but not a lot of like scheduling things. So the next 2 weeks, especially week after next, you guys will have to make sure to watch. It'll be the week 4 update. You'll have to watch and have a good giggle because boy, we're really going to test this setup. So let us know how you guys are doing, please. Any place you post anything, just use hashtag OneBookJuly2014, all one word, and we will be able to find you, okay? Good luck, guys. Show us how you're doing, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, guys, here is a peek at week 2 of the One Book July 2014 challenge. First thing I did, same little book, gorgeous, gorgeous little book. See how it's a little bit thinner? I took this out. I have not touched it in nearly 2 weeks that's been in there. Oh, that's not true. I did add one book. The very first thing in here is my list of books that I've read this year, and I added 2 books to that because I finished those. And then I closed it, and it's been sitting in the back of here ever since. So I took that out. It feels, I thought it felt better with that in there, to be honest with you, but the leather on this is really it's thicker than what I'm used to. It's not epically thick, and it's certainly not inflexible by any stretch of the imagination. So that adds to the thickness of the book. And generally, I'm one of those people with my Midori, especially, 4 notebooks feels right in my hand. So I naturally stuck 4 notebooks in here, and then it was a little bit too thick in my hand, to carry in the store, because like I said, I've been using it for everything, so especially the groceries, it just feels a little thick. if I try to rest it on the cart and not carry it, Liam's got it and he's taking things apart. So I have to, what I do, actually, I should have showed you guys that. I usually just take my grocery list and slip it right under here. I use paper that's like the regular Midori size with my pre-printed grocery list on it. So I have some of them back here. I take one out, I highlight what we need, and I just slip it underneath the elastic here. So let me show you what's been going on in here. This is still notes from the book that I'm reading, which I finished this one, and the next one I haven't really had to write anything down yet, at least as far as notes go. This is the same, but I have to be careful because there's a surprise in here that you guys can't see. Let me see if I can get by it. No peeking. Ah, no peeking. Okay, and then here are just some requests and blog ideas. And this over here is one of those other things that, one of those ideas. This is something I've found that this challenge has done for me, and I probably said this before. I think I did, but this challenge has helped me get my brain back in gear. June tends to rot my brain in a very big bad way. It's a huge transition month for us, just going from 6 kids in 4 different schools and all the activities involved with that to boom, everybody is home because it's summer break. Now, that's not to say they're not doing stuff, because they are, but we're not working around school schedules. Everybody's home more often. Everybody tends to, want to go places more often because they've got the time now, and last minute things crop up. You know what I mean? It's summer break. It's not any different here than it is anywhere else. So June is a big transition month, and it usually honestly takes me a month. I wish it was quicker, but it takes a couple weeks into summer break for my brain to kind of shift gears. And when that happens, my mind starts to stagnate. And I'm usually one, I'm always trying to come up with different ideas of, things to write and videos and different projects and, coming up with new things. And June tends to just kind of beat that right out of me. So changing something like this, as simple as it might sound, and maybe this is just me, it could totally just be my weird brain, changing up how I'm doing things this way, kind of in my surrogate brain. Sorry guys, there's a siren from the fire department, I think, gonna go off. Changing how I'm organizing things this way makes me use my brain in a different way, and for some reason that has kickstarted my brain. So I have had so many great ideas. I don't want to know but they're great, but it's great that I've had so many ideas. If a few of them pan out, I'll be tickled. That I don't know that I would have gotten those ideas if I hadn't changed this setup, because it's making my mind work differently. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's what all of this is. This is just some quotes that I had read that I liked, quotes in the book that I'm reading that I liked, a thing that Romany posted on about being creative and journaling. It's in the document section of the Midori Travelers Notebook Resources Facebook group, about journaling and creativity and not having to be perfect, and that it's a skill that you can learn. So I needed to read that at that time. That was very, very good for me to see. I don't draw, so as far as talking about drawing and whatnot, I don't find it relaxing, just because I don't have the tiniest bit of natural talent as far as drawing. When my son Jack was little, he asked me one time to draw a horse, and he insisted that it looked like a dog. He was like 3 or 4, and he's like, "No, Mom, that's not a horsey. That's not." So I stick to writing. I stick to what I know, right? So here is what this week looks like. Like I said in the intro, not a whole lot of appointments going on. There were a couple of getting together with some friends and some rescheduling going on. And so this is pretty empty. Now, not so much this coming week, week 29, but week 30 is really, really going to test this setup. And I'm really kind of excited about that. A lot of stuff starting on the Monday of week 30. So we'll see. This next week will be interesting because Prospect Camp for the Blackhawks starts tomorrow. So Mike is gone all next week, which leaves me to do a lot of the stuff that he does. So the tasks for next week will be interesting. We'll see if they look different or not. And I'm going to try to hurry up, you guys, because it is starting to sprinkle. I knew it was going to rain. I was trying to beat the rain. So here's the task list for this week. Kind of did the same thing that I do in my DIY fish pages generally. Like my prior tasks, I was just kind of slapping them all together, kind of like that. I tried to group them this time a little bit better because this made me a little bit insane. This is much better for my brain, and I just left space in between so I could add things if I needed to, which I definitely did. And then here is what Monday and Tuesday looked like. There's Wednesday and yesterday. So still color coding a little bit. The one that's bugging me just because Prospect Camp popped up is Mike's stuff. I always put Mike's stuff in red, and I don't have a red in my Coletto. I should have grabbed it. I left it on my desk. I have blue, black, pink, purple, and green. And the green was kind of a do I need it or not, but it's for bills, and I wanted to make sure I saw those. So because I didn't have the red, I've been writing all the boys' stuff, including Mike's stuff, in the blue-black. However, what I did do, I had marked the calendar with pages with the highlighter of days that some of the boys were going to be gone. And because I didn't have a different color highlighter to mark Prospect Camp for Mike, I just kind of used the grid paper and drew in a bar and then shaded it in. So I could, really quick at a glance, see when he was leaving, when he was coming back. Hold tight one second. Mr. Man, who we're talking about, just pulled in the driveway. Okay, sorry guys. Mike popped home real quick in between patients and wanted to add to the list of stuff I still have to get before he goes to camp. So, so what was I saying? The avoiding or working around, I should say, the not having one of my color coding colors. I didn't think it would be that big a deal. I knew Prospect Camp was coming. We didn't quite know when. Sometimes that stuff can be planned kind of last minute. It was planned like, a week and a half, 2 weeks beforehand. 2 weeks beforehand we got the date. So I didn't think I'd need the red. I kind of wasn't thinking at the time. And really, would I have needed the red to mark one thing for Mike? Probably not so much. So I just marked out those days so that I remember on these days, he's not going to be home for lunch and, taking Liam for me and whatnot. All the older kids will be home. So not the end of the world, but so that helps. That, not artistic by any stretch, but very functional. So that was where we left off there, and then there is today. And the only other thing I did different was this blank page. I didn't use it last week. I had left just like that. I had left that blank page. I didn't use it. I thought maybe, for like weekly review or for stuff upcoming the following week. But because I already had this penciled in, not penciled in because I'm not getting a pencil either. I didn't need this for like stuff for the upcoming week because I already had this sketched in already. So anything for the upcoming week, I just put in that week. I knew that I would have the same here because I already have next week in here. So I slapped a list on there really quick. It's one thing I won't have to put a Post-it note in here for. So that is it. That's how it's going. I'll tell you what, guys, totally forcing my brain to work in a different way, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So show us, like I said before, show us what you're up to. Show us what's been working for you, what's not been working for you, things that you've found that work around the things that aren't working for you. Let us know, okay? It is starting to rain on me, so I am going to scoot in the house. You guys have a great week. I will talk to you next Friday, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye.